And action.
Quiet down, man. Shh, quiet on the set, man. What's going on, man? It's Big on Big Conversations with DC Divine Cight. Hey, man, let somebody know that my shit the hottest shit out. Like, share, and subscribe. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy DC Divine Cight, and we're back with another edition of Big on Big Conversations. I had to pull out my T-shirt today, man, because this is a special one right here. I feel like he's a real stone cold person, especially with the hands. You know what I'm saying? He's been very instrumental in my career. You know what I'm saying? And just in real people careers, I feel that people want to take for representation, like JEEZY, K.R.I.T, and the list goes on, and I want to get more, so I don't want to say too many names. But ladies and gentlemen, I like to call him Wolf. We got Wolfman Micah. We put our hands together for my boy Wolfman Micah, man.
What's going on,
What's
man?
going on? What's going on, baby? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so before we jump in, what would you want the people to know as far as name-wise? Because I like Wolf, but what are you known to as the people that really know you,
I go by, my name is Micah Wytt. A lot of people call me Mike, honestly. I've never to this day introduced myself as like Wolf or different
For real?
Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what just like, but that's everybody know that's like my brand, that's who I am.
Okay.
But I've never like gone to it like say, yo, my name is Wolf. But I do go by Wolf. So yeah, if you want to call me Wolf, as you do and a few others do, that's no problem.
Real talk,
Yeah,
real
yeah,
talk,
yeah.
real talk. That's what's up, baby. All right, man. So I'm glad we got you here today, man. Hopefully we can, crack the can, because I feel like I've always seen you in the work environment, but I want to know the man. You know what I'm saying? Know the person, the man behind the mask. So let's just pop it off. Where you from?
I'm from here basically. I was born in California, Modesto.
Okay.
For those who don't know what it is, that's like Northern California.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I think that was in the classic movie they talked about Modesto.
Yeah,
It was
Modesto.
something. It was one of them comedy classics.
It was on whatever that what is it? Janky Promoters.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's a low key classic too, though, man.
Janky Promoters in Modesto.
Modesto's finest.
So Modesto, but I moved there when I was like 2.
Okay.
And I moved down here and I moved to Griffin. Griffin's like 45 minutes from Atlanta, but my family's from here, my dad's from here, stuff like that. So I always stayed close to Atlanta and stuff.
Okay.
And I stayed here for most of my life. And then like in high school, or much of my childhood life, and then in high school I moved to Arkansas, across to Arkansas.
Okay.
Then I lived there for like 3 years.
Oh wow. Wow, diversified that. So do you remember any of that Arkansas run?
Yeah, I was in high school, so I graduated high school in K.R.I.T, and it was cool. At the time, I didn't like it because it wasn't here. It was it was a lot slower place, a very much slower town, and stuff like that. And then you a teenager, so you just not getting into like into your swag and who you becoming. But it had me focus on sports because I'm an athlete. I was a football player, so I just really focused on that and just really getting out of that situation. To kind of get back to, the lifestyle I was used to, like the more bigger city stuff and things of that nature.
Okay. So we see how it started, building the character with the high school run. What picked up your skills? Did you just jump right into engineering is what I want to know.
Nah, I was an athlete through and through my whole life. Went to college for it, all that good stuff. College didn't work out. More so on me with the school and the books. I didn't do great at school. Just wasn't focused, honestly. Just wasn't focused. But in that time, I took a class called music theory.
Okay.
And it was a music theory class at a community college. Funny enough, because they didn't have that at Kansas State. I went to Kansas State my first year.
Okay.
But I went to Hutchinson Community College and I learned, I was a music head, hip hop head. Me and my brother, we had all the CDs, listened to a lot of music, like a bunch of kids back then. We had a bunch of mix. That's when CDs was out. You go to Best Buy, you go to Backstage, you go to FYE, stuff like that. You pick up CDs, like that was the thing. But
But that was like every Tuesday, was it? Back then?
Yeah, every Tuesday, whenever you got a
You
chance to
got
get the
free
whip,
time. I get
yeah,
it. I
you
get
go
it. I
to the
get
mall.
it. I
Like
get
that
it.
used to be a thing. Go to the mall just to go
Yeah,
to the CD shop, to go to the
Yeah,
shop.
no
You
cap,
know what I'm
no
saying?
cap,
Pick
no
up, depending on how much money you got, pick up 3-4 CDs.
Yeah, no cap, no
You know what I'm
cap,
saying?
no
That's
cap.
money. Them joints was like $15.
Yeah, 15 a pop.
You know what I'm saying?
So you really was spending some crazy
Exactly,
bread,
or
though.
more, depending on what you got going.
Yeah.
But so we did that. But fast forward to college, the music theory class, I learned I like all types of music because we were learning music from Ireland and China and Africa and classical music.
Classic, I was about to say, so you was really getting in the real musical bag, not just, see, we just thinking of the culture, hip hop. You was really in that bag right there. When you was learning all aspects.
It was one of those things where I had an appreciation of it all, and like we was listening like bagpipe music, and it was cool, like it was straight, and that's when I kind of learned and understood, because a lot of the the students and the kids in there, they weren't fucking with it, like they didn't like it, but I was messing with it, and it was cool. And also around that time, if you remember, or if you're old enough to remember, there was a show called Making the Band.
Hell yeah.
With Diddy and them, right? And I was always intrigued about this dude on like the computer when they were like in the studio or whatever. Because the only two people I knew in the studio world was obviously the rapper or the artist and the producer. And I wasn't even 100% sure what the producer did, but I just knew it was the producer and the artist. So I asked the professor, I'm like, yo, there's this guy at this computer, because it always intrigued me, because Puff would always talk to him, but you would never see his face. But it's like he the one doing a lot of stuff that's making it happen, right? So I'm looking at him, I'm like, yo, who is that? He's like, it looks like you talking about the engineer. I'm like, the engineer? He's like, yeah, the engineer kind of mixes the record, he records the record, gets everything going. I was like, oh, dope. So I kept that in the back of my mind about engineering, because they didn't have a thing. They didn't have like a major for that at that school, because I was interested in like music or something. They didn't have it, but I always kept that in the back of my mind. So fast forward past that, I left school after 3 years, and I needed to decide what I was going to do. And there was two things. I was either going to be a coach, a football coach, or I was going to try out engineering. So the only reason I didn't go into coaching is because I would have had to go straight back into school, and I really didn't want to. I didn't want to go back to school.
I know how it is.
And then with music, I was still kind of scared, because they said you had to go back to school. But I called some people, and they was like, you could go to school, or you could just call some studios around, and they give you a shot at just interning, because all you really need is experience.
Wow.
So I was like, bet, I'll try that for like 6 months. If it don't work out, I gotta take my butt to school and do something. Yeah. Luckily it panned out, got some good internships. This was summer 2011. I got some internships, Backpack Music Studios, Wonder Root Studios, and my first ever gig, I did like a live sound recording internship, and we set up like for this choir, because they were doing like a live taping, and I got bit with the bug. Then like I was hooked.
Oh wow!
Like this dude had like a mobile studio, and like a truck. And we set everything up. When it was time to like record, we were just in there, and I like saw the studio in like this U-Haul type style truck, but inside was a functional studio with a board and everything. I was like, oh, and that was like my first time seeing it, because that was my first ever gig. So that was my first time ever even seeing the studio.
So it kind of got you.
It got me, and this dude just was like doing everything, and I was like, what is he doing? Like I wanted to know. Yeah. So I got hooked in. So that's when it started. So that summer, late summer 2011, that's when I started interning. I started engineering that following year, 2012.
So we jump into 2011, 2012. Okay.
Yep.
Damn, bro, that's not that long ago.
It's not in the grand scheme of things. Now, when I look at it, it's a long time because it's 2023. So I've been doing this over 10 years.
Okay.
Like before, when it was like I would say when I met you, probably like 2015.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've only been doing it 3 years.
Yeah.
That's not a long time.
That's not a long time.
You know what I'm saying?
But damn, the way your professionalism was, the way you carried yourself, I would have never have thought, you know what I'm saying, that's when you started.
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, that's when I started because I was a late bloomer because I had just turned, I was about to turn 25 because I'm 36 now. Just had a birthday. So I was just about to turn 25. I was 24, 2012. I mean, yeah, 2012. So I was kind of late. Most kids come straight out of high school, or they do like a year or two doing whatever music school. So by the time they 19, 20, 21,
So that's
at the
like any
oldest,
other sports trip.
yeah, they already kind of in it, kind of got the knowledge and all this. Like, I had no knowledge at 24, 25. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting books. I'm getting Pro Tools for Dummies. I'm getting old just books they had from schools where they went to and they giving it to them and they just like read it.
Real
And
grind.
they're like, read it again after you read it. Read it again after you do that because it's like I'm not in a class setting. I'm getting a lot of experience, but I still need to know like the basics of what a wave form is. Why does it look like that when we say digital and it's zeros and ones? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Things of that. What's the difference between digital and audio formats and stuff like that? And just understanding just the pure basics of engineering. So it was interesting because I got taught from some people that went to Full Sail, which is a prestigious school in the music industry.
Of course, a lot of people get pushed to Full Sail.
Exactly. So I learned some folks that went to Full Sail. I got learned from some folks that went to Berkeley.
Okay.
Some folks that went to another school that was top notch on the East Coast. I forget what it's called, but it was a good school.
Okay.
So I got taught from people that went to actual schools and studios.
Some accreditation.
Definitely, that definitely got some pull and some knowledge about it. And I just learned from them, and I took it for face value because I didn't know anything. So everything they told me to do, I did. They're like, gotta do this, because that's why I had.
I had three. That's some real grind. Like the way you, I don't mean to cut you off, but the way you saying it, bro, it's like real grind time. That's the part of the story people like want to fast forward.
Yeah, because I had at that time I had a kid already.
So this shit was real.
I had a kid. Yeah, it was real because I had a job. So I had a job. And the job didn't suck. The job was smooth, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my career. Like it was like any other thing. It was I had to be there at 6:30, got off around 4. You know what I'm saying? So it's a 9 to 5, just a little bit early or whatever. Okay. So I had 3 internships at the time because they said I needed to do it every day, and every internship that I got was only giving me 2, maybe 3 days out the week. Damn. So I was like, okay, I gotta do this every day. Because if I didn't do it every day, I didn't have a computer and thing at the time. So it's like, I can't do this on my own anywhere.
And see, that's what I'm talking about, the grind time. People that's a real point, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You knew that I didn't have this resource, so I gotta put this work in to get to this resource. Yeah. That's dope. Yeah. That's a dope situation right now.
Yeah, so I did that. I had like 3 internships doing each one. And then when I got to Blue Room and I saw kind of like the level of which they were doing it at. Because everywhere else they was doing it and it was cool, but Blue Room was like, they were working with artists that were on the radio that I heard of, that was on labels that had real, because the first week, actually like the first 2 days I worked there, I met Cash Out, who just came out with Cashing Out.
Oh, wow.
I met Bobby V. Wale was in there. Scream was in there. Schoolie and them was in there.
Oh, wow.
Dro was in there.
Wow.
And Waka.
Okay.
So
So
it was like,
that was on the come out.
yeah,
So you like,
it's like, yeah, it's like I
on the
need to
come
stay
out.
here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like this
So
is
that's
where
when
it's
I
at.
kind of like after a few months after that, I kind of boiled it down to just Blue Room mainly. I was interning there because it's like this the real deal. Plus they needed somebody there all the time. So you
So
think,
you slid right in there.
yeah. So you got to think I'm working every day 6:30 to around 4. And it's depending on how I feel. Sometimes I go straight there and worry about showering later, or do a little
Hey,
quick
that's the
little
grind.
do
That's
a
the
quick little
grind. That's
deodorant
called the
type thing.
grind,
Or
homie. That's the
if it was
grind.
bad, I'd go home for like an hour, take a shower, go straight there, and I'm there. Especially in the beginning stage, I'm there. Well, at first the beginning stage, I was there kind of early, so I probably leave around like 10, 11.
Okay.
Then after they got to know me and saw my work ethic, I wasn't leaving till like 1, 2.
So you had that work.
Exactly.
You built that rank
So
up at
it's
that
like you
point.
got to think 1, 2. Some nights it's like, man, I can't go home. I'm not gonna wake up. So I went straight to work and slept in the parking lot for 3 hours. Get back up, it's time to go to work. And that's every day, Monday through Friday. The weekends was solely studio.
Wow.
So yeah, yep.
Damn,
So that's
bro,
what I
so
did for 2 years.
2 years flat. Damn, that's a nice grind right there. That's a nice, and you kind of jump to the next point. So we'll have to edge back into that. Okay, so we know how you picked up the skill. Now that you've seen the people do it and stuff like that. Who was your main inspirations to keep you going? Because now you picked up the skill and you seen that you liked it and you seen the studio. But then did you look at specific people within those dummy for books? You know what I'm saying? Did you look for certain people like online, or did you just say, let me just keep reading?
I didn't really have any like a musical inspiration. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to, like
Just
who
an
I look
engineer,
up
I
to.
guess somebody in your
Nah, I
position.
didn't, cause I didn't know any engineers. Like I didn't realize
Wow,
like
that's crazy.
Guru and people like that was engineered till a little bit later.
Wow.
So I just thought I knew I had a love for music
Okay.
that I picked up on kind of later, and I just thought I could be good at it because I really wanted to just help make songs. Cause I'm not a rapper, I'm not an artist like that. I can't sing things like that, but I feel like I have.
You're an important piece, though.
Yeah, I feel like I have a
Very
creative
important.
ability to kind of help, and you got to think at that time I didn't know exactly what an engineer was. I just knew the
The
job,
position,
the
the
position
title.
that I thought I would be good at was engineer, cause producer, like I didn't know, like the people I learned from, they're songwriters, producers, engineers. They make beats. They on all fronts, but they're engineers. So
Yeah.
I got taught from them. So I didn't get taught from just like you're a button pusher and just record the song and go home. It's like
So you would say more organic than
yes,
machine wise. That kind of was
exactly.
like organic. You know what I'm saying? It
Cause you
found
wanna,
you.
yeah, cause it's one of those things where if you wanna make a song, it's helping the person make the best song.
Yeah.
So if they ask you for feedback, you give them feedback. If they ask you what should I do, you tell them what to do because they need help compared to a lot of people. Like that's not a part of their job. They won't do it. They'll just say like, yeah, it sounds fine, and they know it don't sound fine.
Yeah,
Instead
that's
of
true.
just being like, give me another take. Say this word better. Do this a little bit. Do this a little bit better. Or let's stack that so we can make this fuller. Or let's do this a little bit at the end. You're at 8 bars. Let's cut it off. Let's bring this part of the beat here.
Not to cut you off. That's what differentiates you from the competition.
Yeah.
If it is competition, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or just in the engineer world, I feel like you got an eye for that. You got a keen eye. And one thing about you is people that do a lot of things, effects and stuff, you're a clean cut guy. I feel like you clean cut. Even the music, it's clean cut. It's no play. It's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like that about your shit. I like that.
Yeah. That's what I was taught. So it's like, it's one of those things where you kind of learn the basics. Like you said, you got to know what you're doing. So learn the DAW, the computer, whether it's Pro Tools. Like ironically, I started off in Logic. Like I started off in Logic first because Pro Tools was kind of overwhelming to me.
Okay.
Like I couldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
It
That's
took me
true.
a minute to kind
That's
of
true.
just get it,
That's
because I'm
true.
just like, I don't understand like
This
how
and
how
that, yeah.
everything goes when you're really trying to get into it. As far as just recording, yeah, but actually trying to do something to make it what you wanted to do, it takes a little time. So understanding that process and understanding that, and then being fast with it, and then getting well enough experience so you'll be able to work with this type of artist and this type of artist,
Master the
or a
craft.
guitar player or a drummer, and know how to make them sound good and how to mic them properly, and bring in horns, or a keyboardist, pianist. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So that just takes experience and time, and doing a lot of things wrong so you can learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Because I bombed a few sessions. And, I mean, it just is what it is. Yeah. So
That's real. That's real.
oh yeah, I bombed a session so bad. Bill, Blue Room, he fired me. Like he didn't want. It's like, but I didn't take no. I came back the next day. I didn't want to take no for an
That's the
answer.
grind. That's the
You know what I'm
grind.
saying?
That's part of the grind.
Because it's one of those things in the studio world, and just the business world. Like, it's a music business. Like, being good is important. Doing things a certain way is important. But at the end of the day, the thing about it is you have to do it your way. Like, you can't get caught up and just do it like this, do it like this, do it like that. Now, that can get you so far, but at the end of the day, what's going to make you you? What's going to make you stand out? And that's what I had to learn. It's like, it don't matter if I do this or this. He just care about me locking this person in. It's like, that's the problem. It's like, what you're doing isn't getting the job done. And it's because you in your own head trying to do something that you're not even comfortable doing. So find yourself in it, do it your way. Get these people to like you for you and how you work. Not because you remind them of such and such and such, or because you want it. It's like, no, do something, find your niche, find your lane, find whatever it is that you can bring to the table for them and make it work. And hopefully that's a broad and general thing that a lot of people can come to.
Okay.
So then you'll get more clients, you can work with more people.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's why you don't want to be boxed in on certain stuff. That's why it's like, you know, especially being in Atlanta, it's like, oh, you must work with a lot of rap artists. I do. But it's like, I've worked with singers, I work with vocalists, I work with church gospel singers, I work with musicians, I work with Afrobeats artists, you know what I'm saying, pop artists. Like, it doesn't matter, because it's one of those things, the ear and the style that I bring can transcend just rap or just hip hop type of thing.
But let's, you know they want to hear about the culture though.
Of course.
Okay. So let's jump into it, man. Before we go, Snow, because we gotta ask you about Snow. Let's go K.R.I.T, man. You know, I come from that era. I come from that time.
Yeah.
Freshman class meant everything. Just the new generation meant everything. And you know what I'm saying? If we talking Cole, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick, them boys, I feel like, of course, as time transcends, you got to put people at the top. You got to play the game.
Yeah.
But when the race started, come on, man. He was...
Definitely.
Come on, man. K.R.I.T was down there, man.
Definitely.
I had a partner that loved just his skit on his... That's how hard K.R.I.T tape was, the one that popped him. My partner loved the skit that was on that motherfucker, because he was just saying, like, if this shit don't work, you know what I'm saying? Like, then, like, this shit gotta work. It ain't no option, you know? So, just, can you first give us a little bit of how you link, and then just, if you don't have to be too deep, that's still personal, you know what I'm saying? And we can always come back for part 2 and get more, you know what I'm saying? But just a little link, and then just like what a session would be for that K.R.I.T fan. What is it like being there with him?
We linked just like anything else. He booked the session.
Okay.
He booked the session out, and I was the head engineer. So I had seen him. I didn't meet him. I seen him before, cause he came through for JEEZY on just some producer type shit. So I had seen.
Oh, you're right, cause he produced too. Right?
Yeah, he produced too. So it was a time when JEEZY was in the studio and he had a bunch of producers like pull up and stuff, and K.R.I.T made some beats or did something for maybe a day or two. That's before I started working with JEEZY, but he was definitely using the studio. But I had seen him then. So fast forward to whenever this was. We linked up. I did it in 2015.
Okay.
That's when I met him, and yeah, like any other session, and I just really wanted to impress him.
Okay.
Because K.R.I.T 2015 was a big year for me,
Come on.
just overall. But I really wanted to impress him because K.R.I.T was one of them guys, or is one of them guys who can do everything himself.
Okay.
Like he can record, mix, do all that on his own.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Still to this day, he can
Okay.
do it on his own. He doesn't necessarily need anyone.
Okay.
He can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Collaboration
But
effort.
he was one of them ones that I had already listened to previously, like for real. Like I used to listen to K.R.I.T. I went to shows of K.R.I.T, so it was one of those things I wanted.
Like a full circle moment.
Yeah, I wanted to impress him, and I remember we was in, and he gave me a beat. He gave me a beat still unreleased beat to this day. He gave me a beat, then he had to go somewhere real quick.
Yeah.
He probably gone half an hour at the most. And he said, yeah, just work on it, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, bet. And he came back. I played the beat for him. When he came back, he was like, you did all that? I was like, yeah. He was like, and I think that's what kind of like started the process of what I can bring to the table for him that he, not say missing, but was looking for. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it was dope. It was dope though. But yeah. It
nice
was
little gem. We got that. Yeah, we got that on camera. We got that first exclusive. I like that, you know. So before we even go to Snow, anybody else in between there that you could say that meant a lot in that ride? You say 2015 was a crazy
Everybody.
year.
Everybody that led up to this point is important because I had a lot of no's. And I had a lot of just trials and tribulations of just learning. The biggest one gotta be Cash Out though. Cash will always have like I know he's going through his shit right now, but Cash will always have a special place in my engineering journey because he wasn't going. He wasn't going. At the time he was working with James, and James was the man. James is the man. And he already knew me as an intern, so he already saw me in a different type of light. Yeah. When I was kind of about to ascend to, okay, now I'm going to start engineering type of thing. So it would literally, I'd pull up to the session, he'd come up, I'd be in the room, and he'd be like, you doing the session now? Like, yeah. He like, don't worry, I ain't recording. You know what I'm saying? He'll just like listen to music for 3 hours and bounce or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Inspiration, man. They say 3 stacks like that, man.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. It wasn't nothing ill or nothing. He just wasn't recording. That's what I'm saying. Some people got sort of like talk bad about it. And no, it wasn't nothing like that. He just.
So man, you say you. So,
see what I'm saying?
So we got long on about it. So you say you attest to Cash Out a lot. He's been a part of that journey. Mm-hmm. So how do we get to Snowman? How do we get to the JEEZY play?
Snowman, same thing, same year, 2015. At that time, he had been working at the studio at that studio I was at. But he had his own engineer. Okay. So I was managing, just making sure. So I seen him, met him, all that type of good stuff. But he was looking for another engineer, right? Okay. So we have been put in a good word, me and my man Keith. And again, one of them things I wanted to impress. I knew what he was looking for. I knew he wanted somebody fast. I knew he wanted somebody that cared. Because the couple of sessions that I had sat in, who he was with, I could just tell that was cool when they get it, but it's just like the little extra effort kind of goes a long way because JEEZY's the hardest motherfucker I've ever seen. Like he works. Like he'll go in the studio especially at that time.
Okay.
He'll put a studio 3, 4 o'clock and won't leave till 8 in the morning.
Oh wow.
Like for real working.
Oh wow.
Ain't no BS. Like
Oh
he'll do
wow.
everything. He'll hold a meeting there. He'll get his hair cut, food, everything he do, but the music don't stop, you know what I'm saying? But
Wow, that's fire.
yeah, so it just happened like that. And luckily at that time I was good enough because if that would have been a year prior, 2 years prior, it wouldn't have been the same. But 2015 was really like my turn the corner year on a lot of things. I had a ear and an understanding of everything, and I felt confident that whoever was in there, I was gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? We was gonna lock in. So
No, it's fire. It's fire to hear. You know, I'm trying to visualize the story while you're talking, but still had a conversation. That's the hard part I'm doing. I'm trying to listen and still have a conversation. I know I always go back to the listen back, but you gotta listen to it in real time too. Okay,
yeah,
so that's just dope, man. What was the moment like? I think when you got posted. I think you posted you on his page or something like that. The hotel pictures
the
when you was
hotel
working.
picture. Yeah, we went to Miami. We went to Miami, and that's when I really knew like, all right, cool, because I had cretched onto the studio this whole time,
Yeah.
right? But I knew people who, the like Yeezy engineer, Jay's
Okay.
like they be in rooms, hotel rooms, like non-studios, put it
Yeah.
like that, and
Yeah.
they still
Make it
be
work.
putting out quality
Music.
music, quality recordings, quality audio. So that was my first time. We was in a hotel in Miami. Shout out to Ferg, rest in peace. We were using his stuff, his equipment, and we were just in the hotel, and yeah, we made it work. He took a picture. You know, G take pictures, but he took a picture. We was at the hotel. He had my headphones on. I always had the Wolf headphones and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I mean, we went down there. We was down there like 3, 4 days. And I remember we went down there to do like 2 or 3 specific songs. He just wanted that energy
Hmm.
from Miami or whatever. And I didn't leave that room. Like the first day was kind of cool
Yeah.
because we were just kind of getting our bearings. He was like, all right, everything set up, cool, cool, cool. He had some stuff to go through. He did a little bit that night, but the next 2-ish days, 2.5 days, I didn't leave that room.
Oh wow.
Like it was crazy, and he moved so quick with it. It was like a lot. Like I had one time, he did like a thing upstairs. Like we all chilled out one time for a little bit, but other than that, I was locked in, just making sure
Working,
everything was right. But yeah,
working
we
with the
we we
legend,
we
man.
set
That's
up.
fire.
We had a suite. We set up the mattress, put the blanket over the mattress. We had a mic. We forgot the mic stand, so we used a lamp. We took the lamp head off, put the mic on the lamp pole, taped it on there, put the filter on there, and we did like that. He was like, "Shit, let's do it." We recorded, and you couldn't tell that because we recorded 4 songs there. Three or 4 songs. I know he did a verse to another. We recorded 3 songs, so yeah, made it work.
The legend, the
Yeah,
legend.
that was fine. I can't lie, that was fine because I was like, all right, we can do this anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. And that was my first time doing like doing that for sure,
Okay.
especially recording in a hotel room. But nah, that was dope.
What's next? And then after what's next, where can they find you, bro?
What's next? This year, a lot of stuff. My man Will Hill, he already done dropped a couple projects
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
It's just May. He done dropped 2 projects. But he just dropped the big project, No Wasted Motion. He dropped that, I believe, last month in April sometime. That's doing real well for him. Will's definitely getting his buzz up. He's
Okay.
doing his thing.
Okay.
He's getting in a lot of doors 2, 3 years ago. Them doors went
Wasn't
over
there?
now. Them doors is like, oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? So love to see his
Progression.
ascension in the game. Second would be this young kid named Loaded, Lil Loaded. He's been buzzing around Atlanta for probably about a year. I just started working with him late last year. He got a new single that just dropped. a couple days ago boxed in. He got two tapes on the way, but definitely the big project is on the way very, very soon. Dope guy, dope artist, young dude, just turned 18. My boy Five, Johnny Cinco, he just dropped a tape, Cinco de Mayo. He always does that same time every time. You know he gonna drop Cinco de Mayo. K.R.I.T always, he working on some stuff right now. K.R.I.T has a lot of music. K.R.I.T has a lot of music that he's sitting on. I want him to put it out. He gonna put it out, but he working. So he doing this thing. There's a lot of love because I worked with Lil Tyler recently.
Okay.
On a tape or on a song for a tape for my man JR. I just worked with Tony Snow.
Okay.
He was cool.
Snow getting a little buzz. He got the key shout out too on that OG
So
interview.
I just been tapping in with a lot of the young guard because that's my bloodline. That's my lifeblood. Just working with newer artists or just new people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just been tapping in with a lot of the younger artists, or the newer artists, however you want to look at it. Working with Buddha Bliss. He's dope. Dage. Dage really about to start getting back on their necks. He's already started dropping a lot of music. People, especially myself, love to see her back outside doing a thing. I'm top of my head, that's about it. I mean, it's always good.
That's good. That's good. We just when we said what's next, we thought we was gonna get 2 or 3, but you broke it down, so we like that.
Of course, my man DC.
Of course, of course.
You know what I'm saying? We're working on his
shit,
EP.
We working on
we
it.
We getting his together.
And the next one they gonna like that. I think the next one they gonna like the bars on that one.
Definitely. DC got working on his EP right now. Y'all already got the single Vices.
Real talk. That's really doing well. They got me some love on that. Definitely a lot of people shut out. A lot of New York folks. I should have known that was gonna come. Yeah, but so where can they find you, man? If people want the magic hands, where can they find the man?
Oh, like social media?
Yeah, well, how can they find? Yeah, what?
Yeah, social media like IG, Twitter, all that is the same. It's at Micah MICAH WYTT. It's my name without A and Y, so it's Micah MICAH WYTT. That's on Instagram and on Twitter and stuff. Other than that, go to differentwolf.com. That's my website. You can book me through there. Shoot me an email through there. And we can always link up. We always work. Right. I always love to work. Always working. I don't turn people away. Right. We can always work out something as long as it makes sense. Love to work. Love to work. But yeah, a lot of good things. A lot of young artists coming through. Newer artists. Love to work with newer artists because they the one to keep this thing going.
Keep it going.
So yeah, that's what we're doing right now, man.
All right, man. Well, thank you for coming out, man. Big on big. Just part 1. Hopefully we get another one. And I had a full set here for the crew. Niggas had a prior arrangements, but we'll get you right, all right?
Nah, do smooth. I appreciate you, man.